Hello and welcome to this lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. Until now, we have studied about the uninformed search and what are the different kinds of uninformed searches are there. So, today we are going to see one of the uninformed search algorithms. The first algorithm that we are going to see is breadth first search. So, I think most of you know about this, how breadth first search works and how does it work. But in artificial intelligence terms, the evaluation of that breadth first search, okay, is somewhat different. In the last lecture, we had seen about different evaluation metrics by which we are going to evaluate each and every algorithm. So based on those metrics were branching factor, how many uh, nodes were there in one row or in one level. That is called the branching factor. Least cost path is basically what is the uh, which goal node is present at the lowest cost. That is called D, and M is the maximum depth of the tree. Okay, so using those evaluation metrics, we are going to evaluate this breadth first search. So let's see what is breadth first search. Breadth first search algorithm searches the breadth-wise in a tree or graph, so it is called breadth first search. Okay, now breadth first search is a graph. Breadth first search is a graph a traversal algorithm that starts traversing the graph from root node and explores all the neighboring nodes. Then it selects the nearest node and explore all the unexplored nodes. And then the algorithm follows the same process for each of the nearest node until it finds the goal. Okay, so basically it follows three rules. So rule number one is whichever adjacent nodes or the it visits, that adjacent nodes must be unvisited, and whenever we visit the particular node which is unvisited from the beginning, we mark that node as visited. Okay, and then we basically insert it into the queue. So this breadth first search, as you all know about, it is basically uses the queue data structure. Queue data structure, as if I give you a real life example, then you can see that it is basically used in the different scenarios. One scenario can be in the railway station, where the people are standing in a line to buy the ticket. Okay, or the people standing in queue or line outside a movie theater to buy the ticket of the movie. Okay, so that is a queue data structure. Okay, so we put the marked visit or visited nodes as marked, and we put them into a queue. So rule number two. What is the rule number two? Rule number two is if no adjacent vertex is found, then remove the first vertex from the queue and move down. Okay. Now this rule number one and rule number two, we have to repeat it until the queue is empty. Okay. And once the queue is empty, we will get out of the loop. Okay. So this is the deal with the breadth first search. So now we'll move to the evaluation part. How do we evaluate it? Now given this tree, now for a simplification term, we have taken the tree which has the depth of 3, but for general terms we take the maximum depth of the tree is M, branching factor is B, and the depth of the least cost solution is D. Okay, so how do we evaluate it? Okay, now let's see how do we traverse this tree using the breadth first search. So first we put A in the first node, then as there is no adjacent tree node on that particular level, so we move downwards. Then we move to B. Now there is an adjacent node, so we'll move to C next, and then there is no adjacent node, so we'll move to downwards, then D, then E, then F, then G, and then H. So in this way we traverse the node, we traverse the whole tree, and we put each of them inside a queue, and then we will traverse the tree until the queue is empty. Okay, now for the evaluation part, can you tell me that if this particular tree or this particular node is complete or not? Can you tell me? Yes, it is complete. Why? It is complete because let's take the goal as C or F. Okay, now if the goal is C or F, okay, anything, let's take both of them. Okay, so now here the problem of finding the getting stuck at the infinite loop is not the case, because here we are finding about here we are finding the goal nodes in the breadth wise. So if the goal node is C and goal node is F, so we'll find it. If this tree is concerned, then we can easily find the C point. Okay, and if it is at the low at the node at the depth, let's say if you have the doubt, like if the depth is 1000 or 10,000 or somewhat like that, then also we will find it. Okay, so we can say that if B, if the branching factor, if the total number of nodes in one level is finite, then we can say that this algorithm is basically complete in nature. Okay, so what is the time complexity then? How can we say that about the time complexity? Now at any level, the branching factor is B. Okay, branching factor is how many maximum number of nodes can one level can accommodate. Okay, so at any level the maximum branch factor is B. Now the goal state at each level is basically D. Now the goal state can be found at the least cost, that is D. Okay, so we can find this time complexity as order of B to the power D. Okay, now let's come to the space complexity. Now space complexity is basically it stores all the nodes for the path which contains the goal state, that is the maximum branching nodes, which is B, and if it has the depth D, then the space complexity will be same as that of the time complexity, that is order of B to the power D. Okay, now the last question is it optimal? If we are using this breadth first search, then we are finding that if it is optimal or not. So for optimality, if we put the step cost means the step cost that we have to give about here to move from A to B, okay, from D to B, okay. So this step cost, if this step cost is 1, then we can say that yes, it is optimal, because it is complete. So it may be optimal or may not be optimal. Okay, but if we put this condition as step cost as 1, then we can say that it is optimal. Okay, now next we'll see the advantages and disadvantages of this algorithm. Okay, so what are the advantages? Advantages are this breadth first search or BFS will provide a solution if solution exists. If the solution is existing in the particular tree, then we will definitely find it. Okay, that we have seen. Now if there are more than one solution for a given problem, then BFS will find the minimal solution which requires the least number of steps. Okay, so it will basically give us the least cost path. Okay, now what are the disadvantages? Disadvantages, as it stores all the nodes, so and the path, so basically if it is moving at every level, okay, and if it is storing the total path of the tree, then the memory becomes too huge at each level. Okay, and to save those memory inside a computer, that may be a big problematic way. Okay, so this is the one disadvantage. Second disadvantage is BFS needs a lot of time if solution is far away from the root node. Okay, so that is another one thing. So as we have seen, there are advantages and there are disadvantages. Okay, next we'll see that depth first search. So stay tuned for upcoming lectures. Thank you.